Thomas and Becca reveal how they rekindled their relationship after Paradise, and we have all of the details. Hey guys, and welcome back to another shared news. We have a Bachelor in Paradise happy couple update. We are going to get all into the tea with Thomas and Becca. But before we do that, make sure you guys are subscribed to our channel and ring the bell so you never miss out on any future videos. As always, I'm your host, Zachary Reality, and we saw Becca dramatically break up with Thomas on that beach in Paradise on one of the last few days, but she actually texted Thomas as soon as she got her phone back, and we have all of the tea. We have to get into it because the two of them immediately started talking the second they got home to California from Paradise, and this kind of story is a little crazy. So Thomas recalled seeing the text while he was getting his luggage at the airport in San Diego on the Talking It Out podcast with Mike Johnson and Bryan Abasolo. Becca and Thomas talked all about their Paradise experience and what they've been up to the last few months secretly dating. Becca got into detail about why she broke up with Thomas on the beach and what prompted her to reach out to him as soon as she got home. Becca said her and Thomas's relationship was so smooth sailing that they never had any bumps in the road, so she didn't know if they would be able to get through the tough times. So that's why she wanted to take a step back and not leave the beach with him, because everything was just so peaceful for them on the beach. They really needed something to kind of like test their relationship, and I feel like them breaking up was that test, because that's when they realized that they actually liked each other. And what I mean by that, and what I think Becca meant, is we saw on the beach Joe and Serena, they were able to really get closer and bond because of all the drama with Kendall. And we see this a lot on Paradise when there's a happy couple, a new person comes in, then it's like shakes everything up, and then like, you know, the couple can either grow stronger or grow apart. And nobody really pursued Becca or Thomas. Once the two of them got together, they kind of isolated themselves on the beach and were just kind of like a happy, no drama couple. We know Thomas was obviously involved in a lot of drama before Becca got there, but once he linked up with Becca, like they were so solid. So everything was just too good and too sweet. So that's kind of the reasoning why Becca broke up with Thomas to begin with, because she truly believed that it was too good to be true. You know, they were so far removed, they even recalled having multiple off-camera conversations far away from the beach that producers let them have during Paradise because they just weren't involved in the drama, and because Becca is close friends with the producers. And this is what I want to get into a little bit, because Becca definitely talked a lot about why she decided to come back to Paradise, what prompted her to come back. And she said that it was the producers, who she's really close friends with, who were not planning on working on the show for this season of Paradise, but ended up kind of getting into the swing of things. And they were the ones that really comforted Becca and supported her and told her, like, come back. And they kept on asking Becca to come back every day for like 2 weeks straight. And then eventually she decided to go back on the show with a few conditions, because one, she was the Bachelorette, so I think she was probably expecting a little bit of a higher pay grade than some of the other contestants who kind of just, you know, went on one season. Like, she was legit the Bachelorette, so she had some demands. One of the things she wanted was shrimp tacos, and I think she also kind of wanted and assumed that she was going to get a good edit, maybe, and a fair storyline and everything, and I think that's what she got. You know, we have to know that Becca is on the Bachelor Happy Hour podcast, which is a produced podcast by Bachelor, by the literal show, so Becca works very closely with the show. So even though Becca didn't necessarily go into more detail about that on the podcast, I think it's very obvious from an outsider looking in that they really wanted Becca to come on Paradise to promote her podcast. And I think that's kind of what ultimately led her to go to Paradise, other than a few of these other, you know, things that Becca talked about, but that's just kind of my theory. Another reason why Becca decided to go on Paradise is because she did get some advice from former lead Ben Higgins, who was the first lead, I guess, in recent years to do a Bachelor spin-off show. We did see Jake Pavelka, who was the former Bachelor, do Bachelor Pad way back in the day, but most of you guys probably don't remember that. But if you do, you guys know Bachelor Pad was so good. But Ben Higgins did a Bachelor spin-off show called Bachelor Winter Games just a couple of years ago, and he had some advice for Becca. He told Becca, as long as you are fully over your past relationship and ready to date publicly again, then go for it. Because that's kind of what Paradise is. You're gonna go there, you're gonna date in front of the cameras. So Ben Higgins just really wanted to make sure that Becca was fully prepared to do that. If she was, then it would be a super fun experience, because when Ben Higgins was on Bachelor Winter Games, we saw that he actually broke down and cried over Lauren, his ex-fiance, I guess it was kind of recent since their breakup at the time, and Ben was just not ready to date, so he ended up sending himself home. But Becca was in a very different headspace than Ben. You know, she ended her relationship with Garrett, who she got engaged to on The Bachelorette when she was The Bachelorette about 2 years ago. So yes, she was definitely hesitant about going on the show, but she was fully ready. I think Garrett has like a whole new wife and even a kid. So they are so done. It's just like not even a thing anymore. But Becca was super hesitant about leaving the show with Thomas because of her past, probably with Garrett. We know we did see Becca get engaged to Ari as well when she was on The Bachelor, Ari's season. So Becca has had 2 failed engagements on the Bachelor franchise. So I think that is kind of what really led into her decision. And she talked a little bit about it on the podcast. And then I'm kind of just like, you know, using my own theories. I think that's why she really ultimately broke up with Thomas as well, because she didn't want to get engaged for the 3rd time on the show and have it not work out, or even leave with Thomas and then have it not work out. I think it's good that Becca is taking her time with Thomas and doing it on her own terms, a lot slower. And I think that's really what is going to work out for her in the end, because I do think Thomas and Becca are gonna last. I think that they are in a happy relationship. I saw it on the podcast. I felt the chemistry. I really feel like there's something different about them. And there's something so different because Thomas actually wants Becca to propose to him. That is what she said. She is expecting Becca to propose to him because Becca's already been proposed to 2 times. So he really wants Becca to choose him. I don't know if Becca will actually propose to him. I think that's kind of been a trend recently, the last few years, where the women are proposing to the men in their heterosexual relationships. And I kind of like that idea. I also think that, you know, they could both propose to each other. We see that in a lot of gay relationships where both partners will propose to each other and make it 2 separate proposals. So I think if Becca and Thomas did that, I would love it. I think that is a really good idea. And once Becca and Thomas were able to get back to California and they started dating, they said that their relationship really blossomed once the cameras went away. Becca even called her mom to tell her that she wants to marry Thomas. So Thomas is living in San Diego. Becca is in Los Angeles. They are doing the drive back and forth, sleeping at each other's houses. It's really not that far. You can call it long distance. You could not call it long distance. And one thing they said is that their dogs really love each other. Their dogs are just like obsessed with each other. And they've been having so much fun dating in private and cooking together and going on picnics. They've really been in this blissful, happy relationship. And I think they're planning on moving in together soon. I saw on Thomas's Instagram story that Becca was painting a wall in an empty room. So I don't know if they're going to buy a house together or what they're going to do, but they seem extremely happy and genuine. And I even know there has been speculation that their breakup was possibly fake for TV, and it still might have been because we know that producers really wanted the couples to get engaged or break up. Becca kind of talked about all the reasonings why she broke up, so I guess I kind of believe her, but you guys can let me know what you think, if you think their breakup was fake for the show. What do you think of their relationship? Do you think they're going to last? I personally think that they are going to last. I'm gonna give them that ship, but who knows? You never really know what will happen. Sometimes things fizzle out. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And before you guys go, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell because we'll be back with more Bachelor Nation tea all next season long, with Michelle's season just a few days away. As always, I am your host, Zachary Reality. You guys can follow me down below. Come talk all things Bachelor with me, and we will catch you guys next time. See you later. Bye-bye.